How's it going, guys? It's your boy Stas here, and you read that title right. I can't be stopped. I can't stop buying stocks. It's almost like a sickness, guys. At this point, I'm buying the dip pretty much every single day. So in this video, we're going to cover, of course, the indices, what the heck is going on in the stock market, and I want to share with you all what I bought today, what I've been buying, and overall where my head's at right now as an investor during one of the bigger pullbacks in 2025. And honestly, it's not even that crazy of a pullback, but it is a pullback, and a lot of people are freaking out. So I want to go over again kind of where I'm at right now. So let's dive into it. Hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. Check out the Patreon if you want to keep up with my portfolio updates. Be a part of the Discord, plus more. That's linked down below, pinned in the comments as well. Cheers, guys. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Let's get into it. So we had a pretty nasty red day today, which if you guys saw my content this morning, right, if you saw my content, we covered this over the weekend. You're not surprised. We saw the crypto market getting hit, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, you name it. All of those were down over the weekend. So the fact that we're slipping to start this week in the stock market isn't really a surprise. And if we take a look here on the 5-day, 5-minute chart on SPY, this is the S&P 500, we slipped today 0.8%. Yesterday we dumped a good amount, and today we took out the lows from yesterday. So the downtrend is clearly continuing, and we've been down this entire month. I mean, literally, guys, since November 1st, we've been downtrending. We had a nice little rally on the 7th of November into the 11th, 12th, but obviously, that didn't last. We're now right back down. So we've been downtrending all month, and it's now almost, we're almost 2/3 of the way through the month, and it's the same thing on QQQ, right? Once November kicked in, boom, downtrending, and today we hit 591. We went down 1.25% today, and we took out the lows from yesterday. You guys can see here, yesterday we hit about, $600. Friday we hit about 600, 598. So we are taking these lows out, and when I'm seeing a month of red, guys, you know what I'm doing. My eyes are seeing dollar signs. I'm seeing opportunity, right? So I'm buying stocks left and right. I am taking money out of, this account, that account, throwing money here. Obviously not going too crazy, right? If you're a prudent investor, if you're smart, you're going to have an emergency fund. You're going to have cash to, not to pull from, right? And that's your emergency fund for actual life, So then you can have other cash that you can just pile into the stock market, and you have that emergency fund backup just in case, the market falls through the floor or something and you're out of cash, but you're not out of cash because you have that emergency fund, right? So I'm not going too crazy, obviously, and this is not a freaking massive crash by any means, but I'm throwing cash in. It seems like, guys, I'm depositing money day in, day out, and I'm buying stocks, man. And this is with QQQ being down 7-8%. Again, it's not like we're seeing a big drop, but if you look at individual stocks, a lot of them are down way more than just 7-8%. So let's go over what I've been buying. And listen, guys, I haven't been buying, many speculative stocks at all. Really, all the buys I've been making recently are pretty surefire bets. We have a couple speculative plays, right? But today I bought more Amazon, ticker AMZN, which went down another 4.5%. So this company, guys, I love it. I love this stock. I've been buying it for 2 years now, 3 years. I think I started buying in 2023 when the stock was at $80-90 a share. So I started buying there, and I've just been buying all the way up, right? Because I think this company, this stock, is going well over $300 a share. The AI story here is massive, right? The long tail AI play here with Amazon is clear, right? With what they're doing with e-commerce, right? Now that AWS, their growth is accelerating. We just came in at 20% growth year over year. Compared to the 18% analysts were expecting. And that was a big thing, you know. Oh my God, AWS is slowing down the growth compared to Google and Azure, right? But hey, it's actually not slowing down as much as people thought. It came in at 20% growth, and the stock popped like crazy. Do you guys remember that? We had a huge run to about 260, and now we're back to 220. So we're back to where I was buying pretty much before the earnings. So I'm going to buy more, right? You know, considering we had a great Grand Slam earnings, I would say we're seeing a big drawdown on what? AI being overvalued. I think it's a little overblown, guys. Again, I'm seeing it as an opportunity to just add to companies, to stocks that I want to hold for 5 years at least, right? 5, 10 years. That's the way I'm looking at it. And again, I'm going with surefire bets, in my opinion. And yeah, we've bought some speculative stocks, but those are never more than 2-3% of my overall money, guys, my overall portfolio. I've been preaching this for years. It's wise to have a good bulk of your money in a broad-based ETF and then build individual stocks around that. That's what I do. And the stocks that I pick are mostly, you know, blue chip, surefire bets. Nothing's ever surefire, obviously, but, you know, Amazon's up there as close as it gets, in my opinion. So I'm buying this dip. It's a no-brainer. I'm also buying, obviously, VTI. No need to go deep into that. This is the ETF, broad-based ETF that you buy, just simply hold, right? Simple. Not much to get into that. But it's essentially a broad-based large cap, mid cap, small cap ETF here in the United States. It's got like 4,000 stocks in it, something like that. So I'm buying that, right? Simple. And I'm adding Meta pretty aggressively. This is another one that I bought today. I added more Meta, I think at 588. So we covered this on the channel, guys. Meta has a wide open gap here down to about 470 to 500. It's not necessarily going to get there, but that is a wide open gap here from back in April. We got down to about 450, 500-ish. That is where we could go if things get ugly. Heck, even down here to, let's say, 550 range. But that's if things get really ugly. I mean, look, Meta's already down 25% from all-time highs. So for me, that's, and considering it's trading now under 20 times forward earnings, to me that's a spot to add, and I'm ready for it to come down more. And I'm just going to add more, simple as that. Between the 500, 550 range, that for me would be a spot to go, super heavy on the stock. And that's my plan. I think this is overblown. I think Meta's sell-off's overblown. Amazon's is. And I think, another one that I've been buying, it's a little more speculative, but hey, it's one of the, higher growth names out there. Circle. I think Circle is an undervalued growth stock right now, kind of in the crypto space, dealing with stable coins. I mean, they co-founded USDC with Coinbase back in 2018, right? And obviously USDC, when it comes to stable coins, is the top dog, right? USDC, they have EURC over in Europe, right? So, I mean, look, they make a lot of money from interest income on these, stable coins. And I think the stock is just way too beaten up for where the future of blockchain, stable coins, where we're heading in the fintech space. So for me, it's like Circle Internet Group. I've been watching it for months. It IPO'd back in, June, right? Whenever that was. And you guys know I'm not a fan of just buying a stock right when it IPOs, even though in this case, if you did it, you would have made a lot of money. Look, it went from $65 to $300 a share in the span of, we're talking weeks here, guys, like what, 2-3 weeks? So yeah, you would have made money in this case, but look, it's been downhill since June. So yeah, with IPOs, I'm not a fan of buying in right away, but I do like waiting a couple months, especially if I like the company, I like kind of the management, where they're going, and in this case, Circle fits that for me. And I like waiting for that lockup period to expire, for, some early investors to get out if they choose to do so, which might drive the price down. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at now. It's a couple months later. Stock's down pretty much right where it was right where it IPO'd. So to me, it's like I'm buying in slowly here. I'm not dumping all in right now because, hey, if this thing somehow goes under that, Thinkorswim has it at $64 here, the low when it IPO'd. If it goes under $64, guys, starts going to the 50s, if things get really ugly, if crypto gets destroyed, yeah, this is one of those. And let's say we get into a deep crypto bear market, and let's say this is the start of it. Let's say we're in the start of it now. Let's say Bitcoin goes to like 50, 60K. I know a lot of the technical analysts on the crypto side say that's where it could go if we get a crash. Okay, Circle's probably going to get nailed at that point a lot more. And I think that would be one of the plays. Honestly, I think Circle would be one of the plays out of the bear market into the next bull market. That would be an easy multi-bagger. I think Circle, let's say it got down to like $40 a share or something. This is all hypothetical, right? But let's say it got down to $40 a share, whatever, $40 a share. When Bitcoin gets down to 50K or 60K, if that even happens, I think, it could go boom, $100, $200 a share, $300 a share out of that bear market. And that would be a multi-bagger. Even where we're at now, guys, I think it's at like a 18, 19, $20 billion market cap. I think even where we are now, it's a multi-bagger, So I'm buying Circle, a little more speculative, but not nearly as speculative as some other stocks out there, right? So I'm loading up on that. Well, not loading up yet, but I've initiated that position. I'm scaling into it. And Amazon's a big position. I'm just adding more to that. Meta's a newer position, but I'm actually kind of going heavier into that one because I think that one has a great... Guys, I think Meta has a phenomenal chance of seeing a nasty V-shaped recovery back up. Once this market figures itself out, Meta's going to be a $700 plus stock like that, in my opinion, back towards $800. And we're going to make a ton of money. I just see it. But I can't guarantee that. Do your own research. But for me, it's just a no-brainer. And the lower in the 500s it gets, the better. But I don't know how low it's going to go. So if we can get that cost basis in the mid-high 500 somehow, which is kind of wishful thinking. I think mine's at like 630 right now. But if I can get it down, that would be ideal. We'll see, though. We'll see. That's it, though, guys. That's pretty much what I'm buying. Meta, Amazon, Circle, and VTI. Those are the buys from this week. I pretty much bought those yesterday and today. So yeah, that's it. I'm adding to these stocks. Simple as that. What do you guys think? What are you guys buying, by the way? Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow along for more content. Join the Patreon for my real-time portfolio updates. Check it out. Link down below. There's also a Discord. You get more one-on-one access with me throughout the week. Link down below, pinned in the comments. Also, you got to go to the website at stassurfest.com/Patreon. It's hard to miss. I'll see you guys there. And with that being said, cheers. Have a great rest of your day.